What's going on, everybody? This is Mike Brown of The Art of Letting Go, and I want to welcome you to this week's episode of Feel Free Conversations, hosted by myself and James "Dat Yoga Dude" Woods. We are on episode 3 episodes in. You guys are definitely going to enjoy this episode. If you would like to catch us live, you can see us on Fridays at 8 a.m. Central Time on YouTube. Come through, join in the conversation, meditate with us, laugh with us, reflect with us. It's a really good time. Also, if you would like to receive free meditations, go to www.thatyogadude.com and enjoy the show.
What's going on?
Not too much, man. Welcome to episode 3 of Feel Free Conversations. I'm here with James "Dat Yoga Dude" Woods. I am Mike Brown, and welcome to the show, y'all. How you doing today, James?
I'm doing good. I am, man, I'm pulling it together. Man. So I feel good. I feel in a good place. How
That's
you
what's
doing
up.
today, Mike Brown?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling supercharged. Earlier this week, shit, this month, I ain't gonna lie, this month has been a challenging month. But I think Tuesday I kind of just hit that point of feeling low and
hmm
allowing myself to feel it
hmm
and just going up from there. I don't feel It's funny, I don't have very many bad days, but when I do have a bad day, that motherfucker feel like I feel like a million of them just because they not often. But sometimes you got to allow yourself to feel that in order to come back up. So it's been nice.
What is a bad day for Mike Brown?
A bad day for Mike Brown is just feeling emotionally low, feeling not clear. Uh, and when I say not clear, just about life, like just kind of not really having a sense of direction and
hmm
having to reset the GPS to know where I'm going.
Where do I go? I don't know what's going on.
Hmm.
They always say feeling grounded in the yoga world.
And
Um,
you know what? Yoga has been a tool, but before we get too into it, let's get a meditation in because I
let's
definitely
do
do
it.
want to talk about yoga. But yeah, let's get a meditation in.
All right. Uh, whew. Clearing the sinuses, clearing the space in the head, clearing any tension in your chest and your shoulders, releasing any pressure in your back, and letting the breath flow, letting yourself step into the flow. With your mind, your body, your spirit, your vision, just go ahead and step into it. Step into a place where you feel safe, where you feel trust, where you feel peace. And if you don't know where that place is, we're going to create it with the breath. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. I'm talking about breathing all the way down into your belly, all the way down into your back, and slowly releasing and letting it go. With a soft, relaxed face, you start on the count of 3, 2, 1. Let's inhale and exhale. Deep inhale and exhale. Breathe in and slowly relax, release, peace. Come on back in, check in with yourself. Move what you need to move, relax what you need to relax. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. I needed that.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, man.
Man, I wanted to come back to yoga though, because it's been really helpful for me in this phase
Okay.
of my journey. And you know what's funny is it's always been that, but I've gone in and out of phase of doing it. I hadn't done it consistently in a few years, but I've been going like 2, 3 times a week. And
Oh wow.
yeah, it feels necessary in this phase of my life.
Hmm.
Every time I've been having some really stressful shit going on, I'll go to a yoga class and I'll come out of it, and it brings me so much clarity. You know, I was Tuesday again, like I said, I was going through a Tuesday, just feeling down but not desperate,
Mm.
and getting a lot of these rejection letters from applying for these jobs and shit like that. One, it kind of made me feel like maybe this ain't what I'm supposed to be doing, but also it was like, man, why is this happening? And I remember I told myself before I went to that yoga class, I was like, let's let this shit go. You know, whatever's supposed to happen is supposed to happen. Went to the yoga class. Soon as I get out of the class, yeah, we want to interview you to produce this podcast.
Mm.
I go to yoga yesterday. I'm learning, man, I'm telling you, being back here, I know I'm here for a reason, meaning in Houston,
Hmm.
because my shit just comes up. My shit comes up. Something that's been coming up for me over like the past year is just my lack of trust of people with money. And it's because I've been fucked a couple of times. No homo. Uh
It's funny.
uh by people that I trust or like over trusted, you know. And it shows up for me sometimes, and I have to remind myself like this is not that situation, this is not that experience, this is not that person. And every time I do allow myself to let that guard down, I'm shown that, one, where I'm at, but also everybody is not out to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is not out to scam and scheme you. And before going into the yoga class, it was really on my mind because I had some money coming in, and I was like, man, are they gonna send it to me? Are they not? Going to the yoga class, like I said, release that shit. As soon as I get out of class, the money there. It's like I just have to stop being so in my head. What I've been trying to do lately, and I'm gonna be swole by the time I'm done, or I'm
Funny.
I'm gonna stop being negative. But I'm charging
Mhm.
myself 10 push-ups every time I get too consumed with a negative thought. So I'm trying not to consume myself because I don't like
That's
doing
hilarious.
push-ups.
That's funny. Yeah, man. Uh yoga has been a space to dump stress and release it. You know, they talk about yoga drunk. You ever heard of yoga drunk?
Nah, I haven't.
So yoga drunk is that feeling when you leave yoga and you just like, man, the world is all good again. I love everybody. Because a lot of times you running into yoga, you stressed out, you late, you trying to get your mat, somebody too close to you, you ain't got the right pants on, the music annoying at first, the person sounds stupid, but by the end of the class, you just like, life is good. And they call it
Yeah.
yoga drunk, man. And it is, you releasing a lot of those endorphins, kicking in that dopamine on a biological level, and then you just got all that tension and tightness in your body. You let it go. You might have farted a couple times. You might have stretched your back that was killing you. You just have that space to yourself. And I appreciate you and everybody else who takes that time to give to yourself. I haven't been giving myself that much time with yoga. I still do it every day, but it might be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I just finished a 11-minute practice watching a video. I haven't been to the studio in a while. And going to a studio, going to a space specifically for your body and for your mind and your spirit, it means a lot about how you feel about yourself to be able to commit that time and that energy into that. So, like you said, at this point in your life and your time, where that's your priority, it is important, man. And I can I, I can feel a little bit of you being like and hard on yourself, but then also that leads me to like I appreciate you taking the time for yourself, man, to do that. Um, we had our conversation on Wednesday, and you was like, "Shut the fuck up and stop complaining and get off your ass." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I needed to hear that for so many different reasons. One, I need to always assess, am I complaining, like you said about doing the push-ups, negative thoughts and stuff? Am I in a complaint cycle? Am I just in a cycle of, is this gonna get better and this is going hard and blah blah blah? Am I in that? Because I think I didn't realize that I can get in those cycles where I'm not looking for solutions. I'm not looking for anything just to say, woe is me. And when you're talking about having those bad days and being in them feelings, it's like that cycle of what's wrong, I can't fix it, I'm hopeless, and all those kind of stuff. They get you down. And I want to scroll, I want to eat, I want to smoke, I want to drink, I want to do all those things. And it is not a good cycle. And it also helped me to understand that I don't need anybody's validation. I don't need anybody's understanding because a lot of me getting in those cycles and getting those complaints is I'm trying to make people understand. I'm trying to have people get it. I'm trying to have people uh, know who I am even more than I know who I am. And like you said too, where you don't feel clear, where you don't feel connected to who you really and truly are, and then you just kind of like for me, like, oh man, I want y'all to get me. I want y'all to understand me. I need y'all to have this and have that. And then it goes into those cycles. And then you get into a yoga class and you just spend that time with you and your breath. And you like, oh, okay. I can really separate what I heard from somebody else or what I've been thinking into just, no, this is what it is. So yeah, man, that yoga is a powerful tool. And our friendship is a powerful tool. Like I said, I appreciate you saying that. And it sounded different because I feel like I haven't really, you don't really go there often, but it was something I think I needed to hear. And it let me know, like, okay, this is where I'm at. And it kind of, let me know where you at too. And you kind of speaking on it today of like, yeah, because it sounded like, that's where you was at with yourself too. Like,
I definitely gave it to myself. Like, let's see, we had the meeting on Wednesday. Tuesday,
mm,
I was just in a slump. I'm telling you, it rained for 3 days straight. It's raining hard as hell. I can't get out the house. I'm working in one space and shit just ain't moving in the way I needed to move. And I, I had cooked lunch for me and my sister. And I'm sitting there just applying for jobs, applying for jobs, applying for grants, applying for this, applying for that, doing this, doing that, doing that. And also, I haven't really been feeding my creative like I should.
mm.
But I started washing dishes because like that's that one thing that kind of like, and I'm listening to music. I'm listening to Serpent with Feet. Uh, damn, what song was I listening to? I forget what song I was listening to, but it was sad. And I'm sitting there washing dishes, blinking hard and trying not to cry and shit. And I went in the room and cried, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like I'm fucked up right now. I'm fucked up because I'm really just in my head, and this shit is making me feel it's like ain't nobody do nothing to me, nothing. Like I'm a little
Mm.
fucked up right now, and I gave myself that space to feel it. An artist I've been listening to lately is Cleo Soul,
Mm-hmm.
and
When I'm in your arms. I love that song.
have
Shout
you
out to
heard
Cleo
have
Soul.
you heard the new album?
I haven't heard the new
She
album
got a
though.
new album, and the first song on it is called "There Will Be No Crying," and
Ooh,
it was speaking to me, and I listened to that album for a while, and it just was getting me together. And then I thought about Pimp C, and I heard Pimp C in my head say, "Get off the boo boo,"
get off the boo
and I
boo.
said, "You know what? You fucking right. Get off the boo boo," and it made me get off my ass
Mm-hmm.
You felt what you needed to feel, and that's okay. But move the fuck on, because it's just
Mm-hmm.
a feeling. And that's what all these
Mm-hmm.
feelings, like even the positive ones, like you can't even live in them too long. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that is why my hard days hit me so hard, because I be floating off the positive shit. I be, ooh, make it last forever. And then when that motherfucker hit, it's like, oh shit, this isn't in my program.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm over there all the time living with the 7-year-old who is learning how to manage his emotions. That that just switched so quick where he can be, oh, everything cool, happy love, laughter, all this kind of stuff. And then it's like he look at you like he ready to kill you. So understanding I can't be emotional like that. I can't ride those waves. Like I need to be solid in where I'm at and understanding. So he looking at me for that response and stuff, man. And I think that's the same with business. That's the same with uh, some other relationships. I can't say life, I'm gonna go through it and everything like that. But no, life too, because life gonna come at you, all kinds of stuff. If I keep on vacillating, as they say, um, letting my emotions get taken away into everything I do, I'm gonna just get tossed all over the place. And I think that's a big part of we were talking about order and stuff last, I think, episode, but that's a big part of me creating um like I said, man, creating that universe. That's a big part of creating my universe in my life and creating the life that I want for myself is understanding how to manage my emotions because my emotions create my life. And so it is, yoga, with that yoga being that of just like understanding this is a reset. This is me coming back into myself. Because some people, I remember my yoga instructor, the one that I did my yoga teacher trainings, he said sometimes he has some 2 a days, maybe even 3 a days, going to yoga and stuff to get herself right. But you get yourself right and then you keep pushing. You keep going. Sometimes it ain't a full class. Sometimes you just take a breath. That's why I really believe on everything, all these tools and I'm asking about and stuff, they have to be applicable. They have to be applicable to real life because real life is always happening and stuff. Um, and and knowing me, knowing what I feel and trusting what I feel and not letting myself get taken into anybody else's feelings, like because you know what I mean. It can happen.
Man, I was just having a conversation yesterday, and it ties into like knowing yourself and also your
Mm-hmm.
feelings, because being out here, I've been feeling like I've been in a bubble. Like you
Mm-hmm.
remember how when we was quarantining and we had like our pods and shit like that? Like you had just
Mm-hmm.
your people you was around and that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
That's how
yeah,
I feel right now. And being in this space, I have to really tune into myself, but also I've been so in tune with myself that like all these boxes that because somebody sent me something about being black and queer and being black, queer, masculine. And like I'm not even saying it's just to say it, but only thing I really feel like right now is Mike. And I
mm-hmm.
think it's because I'm not tapped into no other worlds. Like, you know, me being me is not me not being queer, not being black, not being a male, not being any of that shit. And it feels good. Like it feels like
Mm-hmm.
that's the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit
Mm-hmm.
feels nuts to be trying to put yourself in a box. And I was thinking yesterday, because again, going to yoga, especially out here, I'm the only black man in these classes, but
It's
that was
crazy.
that was me in high school. I was the only black man in some of these classes I was in. That was me in middle school. Like, when you in the advanced classes, the AP classes and shit like that, it's not too many black dudes, and there's some black women in there. It's it's a little bit of everybody in there, but it ain't like that. And even being in the band, being in the math club, being in this, and I was telling somebody like I've never really just fought to like only be in spaces that look and sound like me, because I need to be in these other spaces so I could take their tools.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And then these other spaces need you as well.
For sure. For
They need you as
sure.
well, man. I was playing music last night while I was cooking. Man, I made some good chicken. That chicken was good. It was like a little chicken stuff.
I mean, if you say so, you put seasoning on it.
It was some of my best chicken I ever had, man. It was bomb, marinated and everything. Um, but I'm in the house and my girl, the little boy, and her cousin was there, and I put on my music and I put on Herbie Hancock, the Thrust album, the Butterfly song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about 11 minutes. It's
Mm-hmm.
jazz, ain't no words. And then my whole playlist started going through. And after a while, I was like, man, when I was younger, I would not have put something on that was so me. I would have tried to make something, more appropriate with my mind for everybody, because not everybody like that stuff. But it was listening to that music and that playlist. It was like, nah, this is me. And it's been me for a long time, this type of music and this type of feel and doing these type of things. And it just felt good to embrace me, man. I had a lady call me up about coming to do a class at a health fair. And she was just like, yeah, these the dates and stuff. And then she called me back. Um, she called me back thinking I was somebody else or some other situation. And I was, I had to hit her with, well, there is a fee for me coming out. I know it's community stuff, and community stuff sometimes have to be free and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, did we discuss the fee? And this is my fee. And that
Yeah.
takes a lot for me, man, to talk money and fees especially with the stuff that I do. One, because I love it. Two, because I know the community stuff and I've done events and I know the budgets be small sometimes. And three, because this is something I would generally do for free. So it'd be like, I want to do it because I get that time and stuff like that. But it's like I value James Woods enough, like you said, man, not being a man, not being a black man, not being a that's all in there too. But
For sure.
I, value James Woods more than anything, man.
That's real. Yeah, I definitely feel that.
Yeah, man. So how did they with the producer thing, producing the podcast thing? How does that look? And it look like it's gonna come through, or
We got a meeting today.
what's
So
this up?
yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it feels good. It feels right. Um they took the job off the job board. So
Okay, it's it's a I'm learning to let go of
hmm
jobs and stuff too. Like it's a job I really want, and I keep every time it pop up in my mind, I just like I let it go. I release it. I let it go. So I don't. I gotta have it. Just let it go. Let it come to me. I had an interview last week as well. That thing was about 15 seconds, man. Lady was like, "Are you willing to do X? Are you willing to do Y?" The X, I was like, I said yeah, and I kind of like didn't feel like it. And then she asked me another question, and I was like, nah. And she was like, well, we just gonna have to end here. I'm like, man, I'm too valuable to be in a situation, you know.
Same. And that's kind of where I'm at with it right now too. It's like I have to keep reminding myself I'm not desperate.
Not desperate.
So it's like, yes, I do have a lot to contribute to you, but also what am I getting out of this? And that's been really been my mindset with all of this. Like, what am I getting out of this? What is your goal with this? And what is my goal with this as well? And do they align? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because I'm not gonna take on, I see with teachers a lot, people take on this role and then they start taking on more than a role just because like I need this or this is what I have to do in order to keep
Mm-hmm.
this. And I'm not in that space right now. So it's like whatever we doing, let's communicate it and be clear on that's what's happening. And anything outside of the scope, we gotta negotiate on that.
That's real, man. I am in couples therapy right now.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm trying to get into family therapy right now.
Oh, that's real dope. It's
Hmm.
like all y'all in your immediate family
Hmm.
in
Like
person.
while I'm
Yeah,
here, I feel like it's
that's real.
necessary.
That's really dope. Really dope. And the question that the therapist asked us, if each of y'all was your own house and there was a fence separating the houses, how much do you feel like that fence is moving over into your yard? Meaning like her life moving over into my yard. So my yard is kind of getting smaller, my life and everything, and her for more space, and you know what I mean. And it was a crazy question to think about that. Like, how much am I? Like he said, it. How much of my boundaries am I letting be encroached upon? I love that word. Like you said with a teacher, where you feel like, okay, I'm taking on more, and like your yard is getting smaller, your life is getting smaller because you're taking on school, you're taking on a relationship and stuff like that. So it really made me think about it, and because I need a lot of space in my yard. You know what I mean? When I go to my basketball court and my sauna and my garden and this that, like I I need all that, so I got to keep my yard and my gate where it needs to be
Yeah.
in life and relationships and everything like that. And so it is just giving me more of an understanding of, like I said, just how valuable I am and how much I have to stand up and say that and set them boundaries. Like, nah, this ain't, you know, in a job, in a relationship, family. It is what it is, man.
I feel that.
Yeah. What is the goal of family therapy for you?
Um, I want us to learn how to communicate with each other and also give each other the space to see who we are today. I think there's so much experience tied into how we know each other. So it's like we may not be giving each other the grace and the space to be our full selves because we hold each other to a place in our lives. So it's like, you know, I may be a little guarded around my mama just because of whatever experiences I've had with my mama. And she may not even be that person no more, but I'm having a
Mm,
hard time releasing that. And maybe with the support of someone else, we can learn how to release whatever it is we need to release in order to, because when I mentioned it to my mom, she told me that she didn't really feel connected to me and my sister right now as far as like we are we are so in our lives that she feels like excluded. And I don't disregard that feeling for her. Like I acknowledge that feeling, and I just told her like, hey, I don't have the tools to make you feel included, but maybe somebody can support us in that.
mm,
And that feels important because like I said, it be shit that come up, like it'd be little shit that come up and you be like, oh, you was holding on to that.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, eh, we don't know how to talk to each other sometimes. Like sometimes you don't even realize that you have made behaviors okay in your life that really aren't okay. Like
mhm.
sometimes my dad just talked to people rude. And when you give it back, he's offended. And I acknowledge, oh, I have the tools to not do this, but being in this space, I'm adapting. So it's like, well,
Mm,
how can we learn how to communicate with each other? Because we don't all communicate the same. We've all developed lives. Like I said, I've been gone 20 years. My sister been gone however long she been gone. So it's like, how do we adjust to learn how to talk to each other, how to be around each other, how to appreciate the time that we do have with each other? Because my parents ain't getting younger, none of us are getting
mhm.
younger. So it's like, at least let's figure out how we can develop just healthy relationships. Like, it don't have to be in your face 24/7, but how do we develop healthy connections with each other,
That's very
individually and
brave.
collectively?
Yeah, that's very brave, man. I think it can be very comfortable to sit in your current family relationship and be like, oh, this is what it is. This how mama gonna be. This how daddy gonna be. This how I'm gonna be with the relationship. To bring those relationships to the table, to essentially throw them out, to have real new ones is a
And
very brave thing, man.
I see, I'm very conscious of how sometimes I can revert in who I am, or even rebel in who I am to show like I'm not that, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Or go back to being that. And it's like, man, I want to show up as my full present self every time. And I want them to do the same. I want them to do the same. I want to give them the space to do the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's gonna require some work, but I've been making an effort because I'm staying with my sister, but I go by my parents every Sunday. Where we collectively get together every Sunday, have dinner, play Uno. Um,
Wow.
that is a start, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I go by my parents' house maybe like 3, 4 times during the week. And my sister
Mhm.
told me the other day, she was like, "You really like going over there, huh?" And I guess I do. I guess I
Yeah.
do. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, sometimes the question has to be, well, why do I like going over there? Why don't you like going over there? Like,
Yeah.
you know, there has to be a why. Like, honestly, when I first got there, I had a hard time staying there just because a lot of the I hate the word trauma because it sounds like you just experienced some wild shit.
Right.
But the trauma of
Right.
growing up in that house is like that shit comes up for me.
Yeah.
Experiences in that house come up for me. And I think the therapy and just what I'm trying to do now with my tools that I have is like shifting those experiences. So like, I remember growing up and my parents arguing every fucking Sunday. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, man, I've been the same person my whole life. Cause I remember one day I was just tired of it. And I was at the top of the stairs and I just yelled, "Can y'all please shut the fuck up?" And they both just stopped and was like, Don't talk to us like that." I've always just been outspoken and expressive, like
Oh, that's
holding my
funny.
feelings, but it was getting to me so much that I just had to release that. And, to be, like I said, reframing these Sundays of like going over there and playing Uno, having a good time, talking, to the best of our ability to communicate, because my family joke a lot. We joke a whole lot, and everybody jokes don't be funny. Sometimes jokes be personal. And
Right.
and they're not always meant to be personal. It's just people communicate at the level they know how. So, I'm really enjoying just healing those spaces in my own life. Like, the thing I'm so conscious of is like this shit is gonna be what it's gonna be whether I'm here or not. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna move to New York, Miami, Mexico, wherever the fuck I'm gonna go, Paris, and this shit is going to move where it needs to move, and I have no control over that. So my biggest thing is while I'm here, I want to make this healthy for me, and every time I return, I want it to feel healthy for me.
That's dope, man. And I hope you can hear me over this lawnmower. But
Yeah.
um, in New York, Paris, Mexico, wherever you go, there you are still. So all that shit
Hmm.
that you ain't dealt with is gonna come right with you. Wearing a sombrero, a beret, a fitted cap, whatever it's gonna wear. I
And
think that is. I'll go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and that's why I want to do the work because I think
Got
about
to.
17-year-old me that was running from this shit, like just running to get away from this shit. I think about 22-year-old me that moved back and was running to get away from this. And being here, it's like, no, we have
Hmm.
way more tools right now. Yes, I do want to leave still, but let's leave because we ready, not because we
Right,
running
right,
from
right.
something.
It's a big difference between running and leaving. It's a big difference. Yeah, I definitely. I think I've been out again 4 years, and I definitely was running. And I go to my parents every Saturday or Sunday once a week, and I have a great time over there just sitting up with them. We ain't gotta. I'm gonna ask them a bunch of questions as I always do, or I'm gonna just sit up. My mama, she don't want to feed me. My daddy, he gonna sit around and ask me some awkward questions at first until we get a conversation going and everything, and it's all cool. Like I love them as people, and I'm so glad that they're my parents. And I think I see so much of myself in them. I feel like I have to understand them because George Woods will come out in in a situation. Cynthia Wood will come out in a situation. So loving and understanding them has helped me to love and understand myself when those, things show up. And yeah, they fun people, they're good people. So I have a good time when I'm over there. I'm looking forward to going over there watching football on Saturday and what is it called, Super Bowl party, and my mama just made some gumbo that was good. Just like you said, spending time. My dad is going to retire this year finally.
That's what's up.
So I look forward to celebrating that with him and being there in support as he navigates retirement and stuff. That's going to be a different phase. And my mom, the same thing too. And navigating traveling and all that kind of stuff. And so like I feel like it is a privilege and a pleasure that I have to be there for my family in that way. And like you said, man, being able to correctly communicate, not even correctly, but communicate with them from a place of authenticity and being a lot more whole and healed. I look forward to that.
And love, like
And
communicating from a place of love.
love, man. Because these are people I still seek their validation. I still want their approval. Like you said, I can try to rebel against it, and I don't want to do this, but in my heart of hearts, I want my parents' approval, and I want to look at that for what it is, and not just try to be like, oh man, I can't, whatever, and understand when that approval is pulling on me, and then I need to have them seek my own understanding of, the highest understanding. So, yeah, man, congratulations on that.
I appreciate that. And it's not it hasn't been as hard as I thought it would be. You know what I'm saying? Like I think, like I said, in giving my parents grace and also giving them space to show me something different, I've been experiencing something different. Like my mom is a very open person. I think in the past she was however she was, but I've been able to express, hey, this made me feel like this, or I need some space on this or whatever it is. And she been with it. Like she been with it and it's been nice. And like I said, her expressing like, hey, I feel like I'm not a part of y'all lives. Like that is fucked up, you know? And not like that's fucked up for her to say, like that's fucked up for her to feel that way and for us to not want to do anything about that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, for me it's like I do care, so I am going to do work around that.
Right. And even if, like you said, even if it's just giving her space to say that,
Mm-hmm.
it's huge, man. Um, that's dope, man. That speaks to the love that you have for yourself as well. So let that love grow. Yeah, man. I do got to get out of here again today. I got another 8 o'clock.
That's a bet. I had a rapid fire for you before you leave.
Let's do it, man.
Got three words for you. Support.
Peace is just stuck in my mind. Parent support, peace. Support isn't always peaceful. Sometimes it can be very aggressive. It could tell you, shut the fuck up and do the work. But I don't know, peace, man. I think at the end of support, you feel peace. Peace is just in my head.
Celebration.
Good times, come on. Celebrate something I need to do more.
And relaxation.
A warm beach. That's what I want right now. Warm beach. Yeah. and awareness. It's letting understanding that you need to relax, man. It ain't gotta be on the warm beach, but just oh my shoulders is tight. My this, my that. But yeah, right now on the warm beach. Oh man, I got some rapid fires for you. I'm gonna come off the top with it.
That's a bit
Light.
light. Um, when you said that, the first thing I thought about was like my aura, like the glow around me.
I know you ain't gonna. I know you know what I'm talking about. Remember when Prince died
Yeah,
and we saw the sky?
yeah, and it was
Never gonna
purple.
forget that, man.
Yep.
That was the crazy. I've never seen the sky like that again, and that was so crazy.
It was
That was
probably that
wild.
weed popcorn and that weed drink thing. But the sky
Maybe.
definitely was like purple and orange. That was
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
that was really crazy. Um, Craving.
Craving. Um, I don't know why desire and habit came up for me with the word craving. Um, and even saying that out loud, it's like really being conscious of them cravings because I've been fucking up some candy the last couple of weeks, and that's that's one of those triggers for me to let me know like, oh, you stressing. Um, and weed, when I smoke weed every day, that lets me know too. But I told you I haven't smoked in like almost 2 weeks, and I smoked like a day or two ago, and I did not enjoy the high. It had me too in my head. I was thinking about everything as far as like this is not like it really had me thinking like you don't need me right now. Why are you doing me?
You'll be back.
Right. But it
That's
makes me sad because I really enjoy it. But I think as I'm maturing, I think an edible does me right. And I say that because I can't do them often. I don't do them often because that feeling, it's a lot. So to do that every day, I couldn't. But something about smoking is just that habit of just like, and once you start doing it more, you need more. So I'm okay with not doing it for now. I'm gonna say for now, not no more. I ain't a
Can you
quitter.
see this? I ain't kidding. Can you see this?
What's
It's
that, a
like a
pen?
little. No, it's actually just a piece of metal, and you get, and it helps you to remind you to breathe, like a habit of smoking thing.
Mm.
Yeah, it's. I'll send you one.
We
Remind me.
we need a sponsorship of one of them
Yeah, I
things.
know. No, I want to put them on my site and stuff, and you can slang on that stuff and put little stuff on, man.
Yeah,
Um,
don't say the name of them just yet. We gonna work up a
right,
sponsorship of that.
right. I want to what they call it, white label them and put
Hmm.
and just buy them in bulk and get them to people, especially at in person workshops and stuff, and have them on the store online and stuff. And yeah, I seen them. Last word before we gotta go. Bag
Bag. I thought of Megan the Stallion. Yeah, I'm in
money.
my yeah, I'm in my bag and I'm in his bag too.
Shit.
Oh shit. Man, James, uh thank you for this every Friday. If y'all need meditations, free meditations, please go to thatyogadude.com. Uh Also check out some of the workshops that James is putting on. He has books. Check out everything he has going on. Uh
Yeah. I
you
just sent the link. Finally, sent the link for upcoming workshop. I got a little guide for you if you're feeling stressed out, especially if you're busy and you're all over the place and you're like, I gotta get everything done. I got a little quick guide to help you manage that stress. And then we have a workshop coming up on the 1st of February. It's gonna be all about how you can not be so burned out and not be so stressed out. So there's a link. And then I'll send you those free meditations. You'll get free meditations, but just click the link so you can join us and not be so stressed out. Be more free. All right. This is our feel free conversations.
Yeah, man. And y'all know where y'all can find me, the Art of Letting Go podcast everywhere. Uh Podcast underscore Poppy on Twitter. And yeah, that's really it for now. We got some more stuff coming for y'all, but I thank y'all so much for tuning in. and being here with us. And this has been Feel Free Conversations.
Namaste. Peace.
Peace. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Feel Free Conversations. If you enjoyed the episode, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Also, check us out live on YouTube at 8 a.m. Central Time. We meditate, we laugh, we reflect, and we want you to be a part of those conversations. So please join us Friday mornings at 8 a.m. Central Time on YouTube. Also, if you would like to further support the Art of Letting Go and the Art of Letting Go podcasting network, you can subscribe to our Patreon. Please subscribe to our newsletters through Substack. So if you are a member of Substack, subscribe to us. And if you would like to receive free meditations, completely free, no cost, go to www.thatyogadude.com and sign up, and James will send you some free meditations. Thank you for tuning in. This is Mike Brown.